Our black people there, what I found, the first thing I found was the town to be clean, very clean. I mean, I've been to towns. I mean, the town is litter-free, literally. That's the first thing I found. The second thing is that everybody greets you. It's their town, and not only us. People greet each other. Nobody walks past without greeting. And I think the third thing we found was, I mean, and this guy proved it to us. One guy was just, they leave their car keys in the car. They leave their laptops on the seat. And that's what I found there. And it couldn't have been staged because you drive past a car and you can see that this car has not been locked or people are sitting there. So those are some of the things I found. And I was mightily shocked to see that there's no black person in the town. Even the domestic workers, the people living on the street, cleaning the street, the municipal workers, they all white. The people in the hotel that we stayed at in Orania, the people cleaning the rooms are all white. It's a very strange thing to see if you've your whole life seen black labor and you come to a town and there's only white labor.
But also we live in South Africa. It's a very diverse country. So to have a town that is only just with white people. I just want to know, what were your conversations like with people? Because obviously you engaged with people there, you sat down and you had your black coffee with them. But what were the conversations like? Did they explain to you the rationale of only having white people in Orania?
They've tried to explain to me the reason why they didn't say they only have white people. They got this, but I didn't buy that. Let me be upfront about that. They're saying that no, anybody can come to Orania, but you got to be vetted. You got to believe in Afrikaans culture. You got to celebrate holidays like Geloftedag.
What is Geloftedag?
It is Reconciliation Day. They call it Geloftedag.
Just for Afrikaners?
For Afrikaners, it's where they were giving like a promise. And they call it Geloftedag. Some black people still call it Dingaan's Day. It was the Battle of Blood River, which is now known as Reconciliation Day. But I didn't buy the story, I must say, that that's the reason you must be cultured, Afrikaans cultured, you must, the community must say, that one I didn't buy. I think they are not honest that they don't want black people there. But they don't say it like that. They don't say, you are not welcome if you are not white. But they come, you have to jump through a lot of hoops, which it's impossible to jump through as a non-Afrikaner. So I think on that front, they don't say it. They just say that we've got the rules here, but the rules, it's impossible for a non-white to even make it halfway through those rules.
So I'm a little confused. So if you don't subscribe to the Afrikaner culture, you won't be really vetted to go through to Orania, and worse off if you're black.
No, you can go through to Orania, maybe for a visit, like I'm black and I was let in. But they would. But
you're Gayton McKenzie.
Yeah, that's also another thing.
Yes.
But also the fact that you cannot buy land. There's a huge demand for land in Orania. I mean, you even have safe properties there. You have different property companies, all their advertising. But to buy land, there's more demand than supply for houses and land. But you cannot get land there if you're not black. That's the first thing. But the second reason why I also went there is that I wanted to learn, what is it about this town? Because 25 years ago, we all said, they're not going to last. And this town is just getting bigger, and this town is just getting bigger, and I wanted to go learn. And I mean, I learned from everyone. I learned from my enemies, and I learned from my friends. And I was mightily surprised, I must say, with what they're doing there. And I think a lot of municipalities must emulate what they're doing there. Now,
but what are they doing different that should be emulated? Because you received a lot of backlash on social media about your visit there, with many people saying, why would you visit a racist town? But before we get into what you took from your visit and the backlash you received, what are they doing differently that our municipalities here, where there's diversity, the way South Africa should be, that we aren't doing as municipalities that we should emulate? Let
me start with the first thing. They said to me that they stole something from the black community. And I was curious about that. They said they stole the Stokvel idea. Stokvel idea. But the Stokvel idea, which they stole from us, according to them, they evolved into a bank. They got a bank there. 3,000 people with a bank, and it doesn't stop at the bank. The bank is literally nationalized in the sense that every person banking in that bank has got a shareholding in the bank. So it's not just, I mean, that's groundbreaking. They've basically nationalized the bank because it belongs to the people, not even to the state, more than that. What they've also done is that they separate the litter already at the house. So when you have water, when you have glass, you have plastic, you have cardboard, you have non-recyclable stuff, already at your house, you gotta separate that. When they have regular community meetings, you go there and everybody works. Everybody in Orania has got a job. There's some guys, they told me, that came there with a plastic bag, with nowhere to go. And they will get to you, they have what they call, they have a name for it, I can't remember it now, where they will come and give you a job and they'll give you accommodation. The restaurant we ate at, for instance, dinner, the lady came there and she first stayed at a small accommodation for people struggling. Today she's a restaurant owner. Now you can't go there and not be inspired by seeing, Orania is currently a construction site. It's currently a construction site. Orania doesn't have unemployment. Everybody there works. Orania is a clean place. Orania has got plans to get off the grid totally. Orania is a town, everybody, including myself, I went there thinking this town is in the past. It's a relic of the past. It's stuck in the past. But living there, it's a futuristic town. I mean, they got 2 private schools in Orania. The most impressive thing for me is that they got a technical college where they're teaching. We've closed our technical colleges. More than that is they're farming. They're farming pecan nuts, wheat, which they export quality to China, to Europe. Now, whether you agree with them, whether you don't agree with them, but those are things happening that we should be emulating from. Our leaders go to China all the time, go to Dubai on a fact find to go and learn in the States. They're going to learn stuff that's happening right here in Orania. And I'm saying that even the ones that's offended of Twitter.
Yeah, but can I tell you why there's a bit of like backlash, or possibly why there is? I mean, I'm not sure, but because of their hesitation and their unwillingness to incorporate the diversity of races and cultures in Orania. So I get what you're saying about systems in place. They obviously have a system and a process that works for them. But do you not see the racism element there, where they do not want to engage with anybody else that's not Afrikaner?
I do see that. Nelson Mandela, one of the first few people he met when he came out of jail was Betsy Verwoerd, the wife of the father of apartheid. Now that's the only way to reach out and to sort out the problem, is engagement. Now we must be angry with them and say, you racist, and point out. Let's engage them. Let's talk to them.
So from your engagement, what did you get? What was the point of this visit? What's going to happen now moving forward? You know what they do. You know how their processes work. You've spoken about their bank, how they farm, their schools. What now? Well,
the first thing, they were very smart, I must tell you. They bought private land from the government for, I think, 1 million or 1.5 million, 800 hectares. So that's a private, Orania is situated on private land. They then went to court, and in the wisdom of our government, they then settled with Orania that they can have their own municipality. So that's in the record of the court. Where I am sitting is that, is Orania right? I don't think it's right. I don't think places like Orania should exist, number one. But I need to understand what is it about, and I'm sympathetic towards some of the things they told me. For instance, they said to me, the Afrikaner culture, they want to preserve the Afrikaner culture. But I speak Afrikaans. Afrikaans is my first language, and there's a war against Afrikaans by the current politicians. Hate Afrikaans. There's a war, and that's my first language, and the people I represent mostly speak Afrikaans. Now, if you're going to take Afrikaans, and there's people saying,